seated. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Erika Latty, President of the Unity Enterprise and Chief Academic Officer. Welcome to our May Commencement Ceremony 2024. I want to thank our Board of Trustees, alumni and current students, staff and faculty, and parents, guardians, family, and friends from all over the country gathering to celebrate the incredible graduating class of 2024. Today we celebrate not just the culmination of years of dedication, but the launch of many new careers in environmental and sustainability fields. You, the graduates of Unity Environmental University, are more than just graduates. You are the architects of a sustainable future. And a very warm welcome to our distinguished commencement speaker, Ms. Kristy Drutman. Ms. Drutman, also known as Brown Girl Green, a national brand, is the co-founder of the Green Jobs Board, a startup working to bridge the equity and inclusion gap within the green economy. The world outside these walls is facing immense sustainability challenges. Climate change, biodiversity loss, resource depletion, these are not just headlines. These are realities that demand action. But today is not a day to dwell on despair. It's a day to celebrate the power of action. Graduates, today we are celebrating your accomplishments, your legacy as students, and your future as alumni. As you take this next step, remember that Unity Environmental University isn't just a place you once attended. It's a resource that will always be there to support you. We are your partners, your cheerleaders, and fellow travelers on this journey. Congratulations, class of 2024. May your journey be filled with purpose, passion, and a relentless pursuit of a sustainable tomorrow. As we begin this afternoon of celebration and reflection, let us stand and face the flag for the national anthem sung by Crystal Marie.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we've hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets bad glad, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. At this point, I would like to recognize the other members of the stage party. Dr. Melik Peter Khoury, President and CEO of Unity Environmental University. Ms. Kristy Drutman, Commencement Speaker. Dr. Jennifer Cartier, Executive Vice President of Distance Education. Ms. Denise Young, Executive Vice President of Distance Education. Dr. Heidi Wilkes, Chief Learning Officer. Dr. Carleen Howard, VP of Enrollment Management for In-Person Learning. Mr. Angel Laredo, Dean of Student Success. Please join me in recognizing our faculty marshal, Professor Doug Fox, Professor of Natural Resources, who has been with Unity for 33 years. Doug, please stand. Mr. John Kornfeld, a master's student in our distance education program, will offer our student address, as well as the reading of the Green Pledge. But first, let us pause for a brief moment. Graduates, the short film you are about to see has become, for us, a reflection on the passion, fearlessness, and resilience of our graduating class. We offer it as a tribute to our past and our future together.
When we're young, we're not afraid to wonder. I wonder where the sun goes at night. I wonder what'll happen if I try this. As we get older, sometimes we forget to wonder. Sometimes we forget to ask, what if? But when things are hard, it is our ability to learn to ask, what if? That'll make the difference the world needs most. What if our lakes and oceans were truly clean and clear? What if we could feed ourselves without exhausting the soil for the next generation? What if every decision began in curiosity and ended in truth? What if we learned to change the world by changing the world? What then? Maybe for Unity Environmental University, our work is wondering, of teaching us to wonder. Every day, those of us at Unity Environmental University wonder, what if? And every day we are together, reimagining what college can be if we just allow ourselves to wonder, what if?
Now, I would like to welcome our graduate speaker, Mr. John Kornfeld, to the lectern.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, faculty, family, friends, loved ones, and the class of 2024. We are here today in the fiercely independent state of Maine to celebrate the class of 2024 and to reflect back on our time attending Unity Environmental University. Now, we didn't all start out at the same time. For me, it was March of 2022. We didn't all learn in the same place as one another. But the contents of our classes are what unified our academic journey. And we're here today thanks to our professors who pushed us to pursue our interests and apply the lessons onto our communities and interests. Now, the odds were low for some of us of getting to this proud day. It took late nights and sacrifices, forging new connections and reflecting back to grow existing ones. But despite the odds that all of us would end up here, those odds were actually 100% the whole time because we did it. We had it in us the whole time. So my decision to enroll at Unity Environmental University was inspired by the school's commitment to embracing change. In 2012, Unity led the way for schools across the country in divesting from fossil fuels, inspiring a wave of progress and proving to the doubters that change is attainable. Amid the unprecedented wave of challenges impacting the stability of small private colleges, Unity has adapted and used the changing landscape as winds to their sail, expanding both their physical presence throughout Maine and their online presence throughout the United States. This has allowed more students than ever before the chance at an environmental education. And my initial target at Unity was just getting the 4-class sustainability graduate certificate while I considered new career options. After getting a taste of the experience, however, it was a no-brainer to enroll in the corresponding Master's in Environmental Studies, where I completed recently a capstone project that connected me with several professional groups, where I facilitated volunteer stewardship innovations across 3 forms of park administration in my home county, Westchester, New York. And I remember my first nice spring day during my enrollment, strolling outside to take notes from my ecological economics textbook while sitting by the Central Park Lake. Looking around at the high-rise buildings stretching up behind the leaves, I tried to relax to the sounds of the birds chirping as construction distantly buzzed in all directions. The growth of these buildings, much like the financial markets that operate a few miles south at Wall Street, is unrelenting, always with the goal of further expansion. And at that moment, it made for a stark duality. Our natural world is being chipped away at, and the market will never tell us when enough is enough. The value of nature must consider the limits of the ecosystem. Success is in regeneration and renewability. There is a clash of philosophies when people build as cheaply and wastefully as they can get away with, externalizing those costs onto the environment while appearing to be business savvy for saving themselves money. Well, we as Unity graduates understand that planning is necessary and long-term implications should be weighed just as strongly as near-term results. So, an environmental education reflects our moral obligation to look after our planet. Environmental careers go beyond ourselves, aligning our occupation with our values. As the climate crisis has continued to unfold, the focus of our response has shifted from mitigation to adaptation. Reacting to challenges no longer suffices. We must get on the front foot and ensure that we don't sacrifice our one and only home in the pursuit of a wealth that will grow more precarious as inequalities perpetuate. As the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus once said, "There is nothing permanent except change." It still rings true to this day. We are defined by the era that we're born into. There is a massive technological advancement on the horizon. The rapid availability of data has ushered in the information age, where we really do have the world at our fingertips. Anybody can tap into the internet and be an agent of change. While we don't choose what era we're born into, through gaining the skills of adaptability, organization, and communication, we can come to define our moment in history. There's never been a more important time than now to shape our planet's future and act in the face of the growing climate emergency. The scale of the changes necessary are massive, and the pressure that we put on the worst polluters can outweigh a lifetime of the individual changes we've been pushed to focus on. So moving forward, we must remember to take time and reflect, meditate. Things won't always be as we wish them to be. Enjoy the small victories and then let them charge you up to achieve even greater ones. Personal growth is a never-ending journey, and we cannot know everything in the face of constant change. Let us make our voices heard and stand up to injustices where we see them. When we can inspire changes, remember to consider them through the 3 pillars of sustainability, factoring in the economic, environmental, and social implications of our decisions. The asynchronous aspect of our education was unique and reflected the idea that the key element of education is in the content. The fast pace of critiquing each other's work kept our terms engaged and connected to new perspectives across location and discipline, and my education benefited from all of you right here, my classmates. Even if we didn't share a class, we all informed one another of new ideas through a growing web that reinforced the key points of each lesson. An example for myself was during a class on resiliency, where the perspectives of my classmates living in coastal Massachusetts, Florida, and California offered invaluable help in developing a better sense of the obstacles and solutions to shoreline protection. The Unity family today is larger than ever before. What started as a graduating class of just 24 students back in 1969 is now a network of over 7,500 current students spread out across all 50 states, Puerto Rico, and Canada. As we walk out of this auditorium, new opportunities will be available to us. The legacy of Unity Environmental University lives on through our achievements and impacts. Having graduated from America's Environmental University, let us strive to make a difference in the world. We all have a voice, and we have to use it. Be sure to think for yourself and base your opinions on reliable data, for perpetuating falsehoods creates more work for everybody else and runs counter to progress. The conclusion of our Unity education will mark a new beginning for us. As we strive to accomplish our personal goals in the near and long terms, let us also prepare for a boundless future where the opportunity is limitless and personal growth is a constant quest. While the work of our assignments may be over, we are entering a world more in need of distinctly different perspectives than ever before. The Unity Network will continue to expand, so let's remember to look out for one another and be gracious as we work towards the mutual goal of a sustainable and equitable environment. As our careers progress, we will become the leaders of the future, and with that great responsibility, we have no choice but to act with courage to realize progress. Nature is our most precious resource, and as parts of it ourselves, it's our unique role to go out into the world and be that change that Earth so desperately begs for. Change may be slow, but gradually, we will reshape our planet by combating injustices where we see them. There is no other choice. As Eleanor Roosevelt once said, the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Thank you. And now I would like to read to you the Green Pledge. Since 2009, members of the graduating class are invited to sign the Green Pledge, making a public commitment to work in service to the planet wherever their futures may take them. The Green Pledge reads as follows: I pledge to explore and take into account the social and environmental consequences of any job I consider, and will try to improve these aspects of any organizations for which I work. Graduates who have chosen to sign the pledge are wearing these green ribbons on their graduation gowns. Now, let us please welcome back Dr. Latty to the lectern.
Thank you, John. It is now the portion of our program where we recognize outstanding academic achievement. I would like to call attention to the gold cords that individual graduates are wearing. The gold cord indicates high academic achievement. Let us congratulate those individuals on their accomplishments with a round of applause. The highest of those accomplishments is valedictorian and salutatorian. The valedictorian ranks first in GPA and is considered the top undergraduate student of their class, and the salutatorian second. Let us give a round of applause to Unity's valedictorian, Keely Caro, joining us from Virginia, earning her bachelor's degree in animal science, and our salutatorian, Jennifer Vitanza, hailing from California, earning her bachelor's degree in environmental studies. At this time, it is my honor to introduce the 11th President and CEO of Unity Environmental University, Dr. Melik Peter Khoury, who will offer the presidential address.
Welcome to Unity's Spring 2024 commencement. I've been doing this for a few years now, and two things haven't changed. One, I have the misfortune of always following student speeches that I can never top, while everybody's waiting for an inspiring speech that I can never measure up to. So I'm kind of getting used to saying, like, I'm kind of like the filler show in commencement. And two, I speak all over the country, but I am never as nervous as when I speak in front of you. When I look at you, I see different versions of me. I see different versions of students who are looking up to you to someday be you. I see different versions of our alumni that you will someday be like. And I have to admit, I'm in awe. I never get used to standing up here, and I'm always just a little bit nervous. So if I stutter a little bit, if I miss my cues a little bit, it's because I look at what our faculty, our staff, our board of trustees, and all of your families have done to get you here today, and I don't think words are enough. So I just wanted to take that moment and recognize that and say, I am in awe of you, and I thank you. I know you hail from all over the country. Meeting some of you today for the first time, whether it was from Nevada, whether it was from right here from Maine, whether it was from Michigan, it was amazing to see how many of you drove and flew here to be at this event. Maine is a really beautiful town. And to get you all here and your families to spend a beautiful day. And by the way, we ordered the sunshine and no snow just for you. And last night was one of the most beautiful Northern Lights exposures that you could have seen in Maine, which I think is an omen for just us graduating so many wonderful people into the green economy. So as I stand here today, I start to think about what does it mean to be a Unity Environmental University graduate. You are learned. You come from all walks of life. You have persevered with stories that we could spend all day identifying, getting here. The normal path to education wasn't for you. You had jobs. You had lives. You were vets. Things happened in your lives where you had to stop. You were looking for flexibility. And you found us, and we are better for it. So today, as we stand here to celebrate you, I was trying to think about words that would help you remember what does it mean to be a Unity Environmental University alumni. One, and the only word I want you to take from today, even though there's a plethora of them, is the word curiosity. Now, I know many of you have heard the old children's tale, curiosity killed the cat. But for the animal students, don't throw anything at me. I meant that with no disrespect. But if you think about it, you are here because you were curious. Every major invention, everything that's ever happened, whether it is the impacting policy towards renewable energy, whether it is ensuring that we have an agricultural program in this world that feeds and grows more than it depletes, whether it's understanding the natural resources that we are constantly under conflict for on this world. Who better than a Unity Environmental University graduate from all walks of life to go into a company, to go into an organization, to join a nonprofit, to run for office and say, enough is enough. I will not be out there shaking fists, but I will be in here shaking hands, because it's through collaboration, through resiliency, through my curiosity, where I will make a change. And that is the burden that we put on you, Unity Environmental University graduates. Whether you go to grad school or wherever you go for the rest of your life, you need to embody this persona. You need to be fierce. You need to let your freak fly, because conformity is boring. Don't just dare to be different. Dare to be unique. because the uniqueness in each and every one of us is the tapestry that makes this beautiful world. And today and this year, we put 700 more graduates into this world. Today is a good day. And today is why I am in awe. And for that, I thank you for being part of us for these past 2 to 4 years. And I wish you nothing but the best. Thank you. Now to your regularly scheduled program. I feel bad for these guys. Like, they try to keep up with me, and I just go off script. But at this time, in all seriousness, I would like to take a moment to honor our commencement speaker, Ms. Kristy Drutman. Each year, Unity Environmental University honors an individual who has made extraordinary contributions to a sustainable institution, resilient communities, or to efforts positively impacting the environment and the natural world. Today, we are proud to confer an honorary doctorate of sustainability science to Ms. Kristy Drutman, the founder of Brown Girl Green and a noted environmental media host. As an entrepreneur and a climate communications expert, Ms. Drutman has educated countless people across the globe about modern-day environmental issues through speeches, media content, and she has facilitated workshops centered around environmental media and storytelling across this great nation. She has been invited to the White House multiple times as an underground reporter, has been featured in the New York Times and the Refinery 29, amongst many other publications. She is a GRIST 50 Under 50 recipient and a Create and Cultivate Top 100 creator. Kristy is also one of 16 members of the US EPA National Environmental Youth Advisory Council, and she is the co-founder of the Green Jobs Board, a climate tech startup bridging the gap between the green economy through conversations, resources, and pathways to bring more diverse talent into the environmental field. As Unity's commencement speaker, and for her tireless work in the world of the environmental sciences and the green job equity, it is my honor to present Ms. Kristy Drutman with an honorary doctorate of sustainability science. Ms. Drutman, please come forward. Ladies and gentlemen, here to deliver our 2024 commencement address, I give you none other than Dr. Kristy Drutman.
To the Unity Environmental University class of 2024, I stand before you not just at a pivotal chapter in your lives, but also at a time of existential reckoning for the fate of our communities and the planet. Because you know it's up to all of you to fix it, right? Because if they didn't tell you that, you better ask for a refund right now. In an era where getting floods and fire warnings on your phone are as ubiquitous as receiving your friend's selfie updates, and where your race and income still determines whether you and your family have food you can actually eat, air you can actually breathe, or water you can actually drink, and where our elected officials are dragging their feet to move the needle on addressing the climate crisis, as well as human rights violations around the world today, it is becoming abundantly clear that the status quo is failing us. 2023 was labeled as the hottest year on record in human history. We are being led on a path toward an unlivable future past 1.5 degrees, and the reality is we truly are the last generation to do something about it. And with that, I want to explore the concept of compassion with you all. So a lot of people throw the word compassion around to indicate some good, uplifting, and positive actions for others. But as I dove deeper, I found that the word compassion comes from the Latin word compati, which means suffer with. Something that's a little bit darker, but something far more interesting. So basically, the practice of compassion is essentially a practice of suffering. One where you are really taking stock of the brutal realities of the world, but you are still choosing to give more, to love more, and to lighten the load for your fellow humans. These days, it can feel like the odds are stacked against us, and that suffering is all we can see in sight. But the concept of compassion offers us a new way of thinking about it. That if we can share in each other's suffering and find our own truth, peace, and conviction within that, then maybe, just maybe, we can find a more positive and thriving life for all of us. I've now realized that my journey as a Filipina Jewish environmental storyteller and entrepreneur has ultimately been fueled by compassion. I started off as a student, sitting in a seat just like yours only a few years ago, learning about the realities of the climate crisis impacting Black, Indigenous, and people of color communities all around the world living on the front lines of destruction and extraction, threatening the places and people that we love. I was feeling ultimately hopeless and unsure of what possible role I could play. But again, I leaned into a compassionate mindset, knowing that if I had the privilege and access to do something about this, I was going to go against the odds and figure out any possible way I could lead in this space. And I knew the best way to do that would be through storytelling. I tried interning for for-profits, nonprofits, and government all across sectors, trying to figure out where in the world I could even find space in this movement, but kept hitting a wall. I felt frustrated with the lack of action from experts and leaders who were supposed to be figuring this out, and frustrated with the lack of media coverage, education, and information about how exactly to take action. So in my senior year of college and undergrad, I started my own media platform called Brown Girl Green to start sharing my passion for climate change and advocacy in the hopes that it would reach and touch the right people to care. And unfortunately, at first, they didn't. Like, no one paid attention to me. I would make podcast after podcast and video after video highlighting climate solutions and leaders coming up with innovative solutions to address the climate crisis worldwide, and it just wasn't getting much attention. But again, compassion was the thing that fueled me, that I would collage together my path and again, figure it out some way, somehow to make a difference. Meanwhile, I somehow landed my first job out of college for a mission-driven organization working on tackling climate change head-on. But again, it wasn't necessarily my dream job, but I know that it would help me get another piece of my puzzle. And unfortunately, again, I hit a wall. I wanted to bring creativity and storytelling and something fresh and innovative to talk about climate, but it continuously went over people's heads. Frankly, I just felt like the climate space seemed like a gate-kept echo chamber, reaching the same kind of people and resulting in the same kind of results. It lacked edge, depth, and what I felt was necessary to actually get people excited about this. I realized that the career I wanted, honestly, just didn't exist, and that instead of waiting for a seat at the table, I was gonna have to build that table myself. Eventually, that job laid me and many others off, and all of a sudden, the pathway of entrepreneurship was thrust upon me. And I was like, well, I guess I gotta figure this out. So all of a sudden, I was unemployed and helpless once again, but compassion got me through. I made my vulnerable posts on LinkedIn, contacted mentors and colleagues to lean on for support, had friends offer to film and edit my videos for free, and all of a sudden, I was creating something different. I felt different. I stopped focusing on my lack, my fears, my eco-anxiety, and instead leaned into community, into creativity, and into innovation. I was putting out some of the most cringy, most low budget, most scrappy pieces of content you probably have ever seen. And I failed and failed and failed again. But after a year, due to persistence and an abundance mindset, Brown Girl Green popped off. All of a sudden, organizations that previously didn't understand the value of media and art and storytelling were realizing the need for better stories on climate. And I had spent years prepping myself to be in the right place at the right time to make those opportunities open up for me. And all of a sudden, the climate solution and the space I never thought could be possible was my reality. It was my life. From there, I kept leaning into this pathway of compassionate curiosity by taking on projects across sectors and disciplines in the climate space. And the common through line I discovered is that no matter what walk of life you come from, no matter your field or your expertise, we need more climate storytellers to create the culture shift necessary to address the scale of this crisis. And that led me to creating my other company, Green Jobs Board. So some people call me the Green Jobs Girl or the girl with the green jobs. And as mentioned before, I legit had zero idea of what I was gonna do when I graduated college. And as you can also see, I felt so dissatisfied with what I was seeing in this industry that I made my own job. So I started a weekly online series called Green Jobs to round up any information I could find about what it takes to build a career in this space, because there weren't any resources I could find that provided that. And I'm sure many of you have had that experience as you're upon graduation. But this series went viral with thousands of people notifying me how necessary something like this was, as they also suffered and struggled with their job search. So my co-founder and I decided to again lean in and build a company out of that. It was truly a grassroots movement in its own right to advocate for more inclusive, accessible, and inclusive climate jobs. Green Jobs Board now has hundreds of thousands of visitors and over 100 companies and organizations actively recruiting and hiring through us, all with the same vision to bring more people easily into climate work and greater climate movement as a whole. As someone who now runs a company committed to climate work, I can say with confidence that none of this would have been possible without compassion. When you have little funding, many people doubting you, and having to learn most things on the fly, all you can rely on is prayer, hope, community, and most importantly, purpose. And no matter what career path you take, especially in a field like this, these are most likely the tools and mechanisms you will have to rely on as well. Now, I'm not saying everyone here needs to create your own company, but I do feel every single one of you needs to ask yourself, how is my day-to-day life tapping into compassion? How am I grounding myself in the cautious reality of the world while still flying high into my ambitions and imagination to create something that's never been done before? It's important that all of you embrace the moments of doubt, the setbacks and unexpected detours that you're inevitably going to face when you leave here today. And you have to do it giving your all. We have an unprecedented opportunity to build the world we want to see and deserve, and you're the ones to do it. According to an International Labor Organization report, 24 million new green jobs will be created globally by 2030, and we're seeing new green career pathways emerging every day. The climate sector is growing, but in order for it to gain traction and for the green economy to just become the economy, it will require every single one of you in this room. Choosing to pursue environmental careers is not just about planting trees or installing solar panels, it's about dismantling systems of oppression and building a more just and sustainable world for everyone. Changing hearts, minds, and habits requires systemic intervention and some of the most radical compassion we have ever seen. You all are symbolic of the next generation of hope to come. Whether you're a budding entrepreneur with a brilliant idea for a green startup, a scientist researching innovative solutions to environmental problems, or a policymaker shaping the laws that govern our planet, your work matters. It matters because it has the potential to transform not only industries, but entire ecosystems. It's not just about making a living, it's about leaving a legacy of sustainability, resilience, and symbiotic joy. You could have chosen any pathway for yourself, for your life. But guess what? Right now, you are here and you chose to do this. This isn't a time to be shy, to be quiet, or just to succumb to the drivel and dravel of today's status quo cycle. We need cool, sexy, hot climate action from each and every one of you. We need people shaking things up from the inside and the outside across every sector and office imaginable. We need imperfection, messiness, and bold, fearless action. And most importantly, we need each other. If we are to embrace compassion or collective suffering, then we need to be there for one another. The people next to you can be your next partners for your next huge project. Your professors can be your advisor, your mentor along your career journey. You could even work with me on career coaching. Hand me your resumes after this. There's so many people in your corner that want to help you figure this out. In closing, for the Unity Environmental University class here, I want you to remember that your careers in the environmental sector are not just about securing jobs. They're about securing the future of this planet. Each decision that you all make, every project you undertake, has ripple effects that extend far beyond your own lifetimes. You are healing intergenerational trauma, you are healing the land, and you are healing everyone around you. As you leave this gathering today, I hope that you carry with you a renewed sense of purpose and determination. I want you to be the change makers, the innovators, and the leaders that our planet so desperately needs. Together, let us all commit to building a world where nature thrives, where clean air and water are accessible to all, and where future generations inherit a planet that is vibrant and resilient. Are you with me? Let's do it.
Thank you, Dr. Drutman. As we reflect on that powerful message of the compelling speech, let us honor the themes of unity and sustainability. Now we shift our focus to the remarkable achievements of our master's students. Let us celebrate their accomplishments as they step into the next chapter of their lives. President Khoury, on behalf of the faculties of Unity Environmental University, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Masters of Science in Professional Science and Masters of Sustainable Business Administration. I now invite Dean Angel Laredo to the lectern for the reading of the names of our master's candidates.
Thank you, Dr. Latty. For those candidates who have met the requirements for their master's degree, today is a culmination of years of hard work. Whether you're taking the next step in your career, transitioning into a new field, the degree you will receive speaks volumes about your dedication to the education and to the skills that you carry with you to your employers, colleagues, and clients. The hood bestowed upon you is also a reflection of your achievement. The gold color is recognized in higher education as honoring advanced learning in the areas of science, and the brown color is recognized as honoring advanced learning in business. Green is, of course, for Unity Environmental University, your new alma mater. Congratulations on this remarkable achievement. And I'm going to ask everybody to please hold your applause until the end, until the last graduate comes through. One moment. Ryan Abrams. Kala Anderson. Lindsay Bella. Autumn Brickett. Brendan Blevins. Danielle Boucher. Megan Bradshaw. Lauren Elise Brush. Sean Buckley. Sarah Carter. Caroline Castañeda. Madison Chenard. Kathleen Cooper. Priscilla Kredick. Michael Derrity. Kitara D. Elpidia Despotis. Katie Dunlap. Rachel Hook. Deja Jones. Jasmine Jordan. Aaron Justice. Elizabeth Kaltenhauser. Cameron Kelly. Elizabeth Kilhefner. Chandra Koblar. John Kornfeld. Emily Lacombe. Jennifer Lafayette. Ryan Mahoney. Vanessa Marcolivio. Cindy Malk. Molly Mays. Megan McCoy. Ansley McDonald. Matthew McGill. Carla Ortiz. Christina Perez. Talia Rayback. Farah Rangel. Haley Reedsucker. Guinevere Rianda. Jenna Rivera Santiago. Faith Robinson. Jessica Robles Diaz. Lauren Rogers. Patricia Sanchez. Nushka Gonzalez Sanchez. Michael Anthony Santiago. Daniel Schott. Tasneem Shakir. Megan Sosby. Caitlin Struff. Ashley Suarez. Caitlin Sakowski. Paige Vawa. Diana Velez. Jairus Werner. Alan Viatoric. Congratulations, master students. One more. Great. Congratulations again. And now I call my colleague, Dr. Latty, back to the lectern.
President Khoury, on behalf of the faculties of Unity Environmental University, I present to you the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. Dr. Khoury, would you please return to the lectern, and will the graduates please stand?
Upon the recommendation of the Unity Environmental University faculties and by the virtue and authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees and the State of Maine, I confer upon you your Unity Environmental University degree. I now welcome Dean Laredo back to the lectern for the reading of the names for our baccalaureate graduates.
Thank you, President Khoury. I'm honored to introduce Unity Environmental University's newest graduates. Many are seated before us, while others are celebrating in their homes, hailing from all 50 states, as well as Puerto Rico and the Canadian provinces. These graduates have earned bachelor's degrees in 19 different majors with their new credentials. Some will go on to pursue master's and PhD programs. Others are planning to bring their knowledge and passion to their work in environmental and sustainable jobs. These graduates will build their careers in parks, zoos, educational institutions, labs, conservation organizations. We are impressed by all that they have accomplished and are very excited about the work that they will do. Please help me in congratulating the graduating students in attendance as I call each baccalaureate candidate to the stage to receive their diploma. And as before, let's wait until the end and make a big, giant applause. One moment. Kayla Silva. Danango Acevedo. Kristen Alberts. Delana Barrett. Emma Bragg. Leanne Byard. Robert Carter. Kaylee Caro. Keeley, excuse me. Skylar Chumley. Athena Dunning. River Edwards. Margaret Emily. Mackenzie Nina Ann Farmer. Juliana Grace Foster.
She's saving wildlife with her BS.
Aaron Frampton. Amy Fung. Kelly Hall. Yana Harris. Brooke Harshberger. Amber James. Amber Kachenko. Kyle Ketterling. Ethan Kurtz. Kaysen LeMay. Kira Leos. Emilia Loaiza. Alexis Long. Leah McBurney. Stephanie Manfield. Michael Medinsky. Gotcha. Brian Montano. Kennedy Moore. Victoria Noble. Thomas Orm. Jamie Packer. Louis Pease. Ana Rios. Courtney Renzo. Paige Rowden. Brianna Ryan. Sally Smuka. Alyssa Raquel Thomas. Olivia Warren. Kristen Wellman. Julia Weiberg. Olivia Yarnold. Congratulations, Unity grads. Parents. A lot of congratulations. I now welcome back our president to the lectern.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to the ranks of Unity Environmental University alums. Today, as you begin your new role as partners and ambassadors, you will have the opportunity to show the world what your education means and what it has done for you. Graduate status has its honors, it has its rights, it has its privileges, but it also has its responsibilities. You have the great responsibility to spread the word of your education, to lead with the skills you have learned here, and to help Unity continue on its upward momentum. Before I go on, when I shook many of you folks' hands, many of you told me you were the first in your family to graduate with a baccalaureate or with your master's. There are many graduates out there as well who are first-generation graduates because Unity and you partnered to make something special. Can I hear it for the first gens, please? And for those of us who are not the first to graduate in our family, it takes you, it takes us, it takes all of us to let the world know that ignorance is the problem, education is the solution, and you, from the world of Star Wars, will do, you will not try. Congratulations, class of 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in congratulations, those at home, those here, the class of 2024. I am so proud of you. I am in awe. Come on, get up, get up. Give them a round of applause. Come on, stand up. They deserve it. You came all this way. It's the future, ladies and gentlemen.
If we can now be seated.
Well, that was anticlimactic.
Well, my line was to tell them to seat.
Sorry, I don't follow the rules.
All right, guys, please remain seated in your seats for the recessional.
I am so sorry. I was so excited for you. I forgot to do the most important thing of all. Can you all please stand up and move your tassels to the left? Once again, congratulations, class of 2024.
All right, I've got nothing.